I don't know.
Can you please open?
Carly.
Jay.
Lucas and Clementine lives peacefully in their isolated country house, but one night they wake up to strange noise. They're not alone.
Oh my God.
And a group of hooded
Assailants?
I was like, assailants? And a group of hooded assailants begin to terrorize them throughout the night.
Oh my God.
And today we're talking about the movie Them or Ilse.
Ilse.
But this is a part of our home invasion series. And the
AKA
first.
the couch series.
Yeah. A first on the couch series.
I'm really into this setup.
Yeah, me too. Although,
Should I move this? What are the rules for the mic?
I don't know. That's going to be a gamble that we're going to find out.
Yours looks better than mine because I feel like I'm holding mine into my face.
Oh. First of something new.
This is going great.
So you never know. All month long, we're going to talk about home invasions, movies.
I think...
I thought you were going to be like, I had a home invasion.
No, thank God that is not the case. I was going to say that this is like the scariest horror genre, I feel like.
I think being an adult nowadays, yes. Because like when you're younger, it's like slashers, like Michael, Jason, they're all creepy and scary and blah, blah. And then there's a phase of like ghosts. Ooh. And you know, a good ghost movie still can fuck me up though.
Oh yeah. Well, you believe in ghosts, right?
I totally do.
Same.
But yeah, now like being a grown ass man living alone. Yeah, it's
home invasion's terrifying.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll tell the story when we do the strangers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to do that.
I love it.
Cool. So join us not. No, I'm kidding.
This film was written by David Moria? I don't know how to say that.
David Moreau.
And Xavier Palud?
Yeah.
Whom also directed the movie, both writers and directors.
What else have they done?
I'm going to get there.
Okay. I'm jumping the shark as I do.
Just a little bit. So it, for the most part, stars only Olivia Bonami as Clementine and Michael Cohen as Lucas. Mm-hmm. So I haven't seen this movie since its initial release in 2006.
Crazy.
When Dark Sky Entertainment Films, whatever, put it out on DVD.
Did you have it on DVD?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
How did you hear about this movie?
My friend Justin, who is a stunt guy nowadays.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then I started thinking about it too the other day. That I was like, damn, was he the one? It was either him or this older lady who was a friend of the family. I don't know who it was that introduced me to horror movies at this point. I started thinking about it because I remember getting a VHS tape that was taken. I know, like, my friend Justin, like, I don't know, I think he rented the movie, taped it.
Yeah.
So then he has a copy.
Totally.
And
I used to do that with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle episodes.
Oh, 100%. Like, there's so many things I have. But he let me borrow Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. And my dad was like, I know there's in this movie. And like literally like was fast forwarding the whole movie to know where the scene was.
That's so funny.
And I'm sitting there like watching the whole movie go through fast forward mode. Yeah. And I'm like, well, what the hell's the point of watching this damn movie now?
Yeah.
So
that's so funny.
So I don't know who it was that really introduced me to horror movies, but I know that my friend Justin, he would always bring up certain movies, even just yesterday, which totally off topic, but like even just yesterday was funny. Tarantino is now not doing,
it's not going to be his last movie.
It's not going to be the last movie. He's changed his mind. You texted me it. He texted me it.
That's funny.
I think he had a DVD copy of it, and then we watched it, and I was just floored by this movie. It terrified me.
Yeah.
And now Umbrella Entertainment from Down Under. From Australia. They just released it on Blu-ray for the first time. And the transfer wasn't bad for being filmed on a mini DV camera.
I think it looked great.
I was skeptical, but overall it was solid for what it was, the transfer. Yeah, so as I said, this was shot on a mini DV camera.
Yeah.
But I found it kind of interesting that there was a budget to this movie.
Yes.
And they had like 5 weeks of filming.
Because you were under the impression that it was like fairly low budget.
You would think, because like 2006...
Do you know what the budget is?
The budget was $2.35 million.
Which is quite a bit.
The movie was filmed 5 weeks in May 30th May 30th of 2005. And back then, digital wasn't what it is now.
Right.
Like we're filming these with digital cameras, like it's like home setup, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess technically it would be cheaper to shoot on mini DV over film.
Absolutely.
But on the behind the scenes making of, they did go an explanation a little bit that like shooting on mini DV, they can just keep rolling and keep doing it. So they made it
especially
easier.
When you're, I guess 5 weeks is a pretty normal amount of time. But was this filmed like all at night? Because I know that it's supposed to take place in an evening.
They didn't really get into, it didn't say anything of that.
I thought it was fascinating what you were saying about they have this house. Yeah, talk about that, about the script.
Okay, so the house used in the film was an actual sprawling old estate in Bucharest, Romania. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Sorry. The house was so large that the production was unable to furnish all the rooms for shooting, but it was also large enough that the entire production worked out of the location.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, because we even were talking about when we're watching the movie, like if we had a house that big, what would you even do? There's just so much room.
I was like, there's 2 people. Literally, the house is humongous.
Yeah.
Like, what would I do with that many rooms?
Yeah, it's aggressive. And that's like, it just like, I don't know, me as a single person, like, yeah, why the hell would you need a house that big?
There's like 8 rooms. There were so many doors to so many rooms. It literally felt like they were staying in a mansion.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think it's the Clem is a teacher.
Yes.
She is a teacher in Romania, is what I'm gathering, and she's teaching French to the students.
Yes.
So the movie itself is part in Romanian and part in French.
Yes.
Like it starts in Romanian, and then when they're back at the house, they're both from France. So Clem and I forget the husband's name.
But yeah, they would turn sets into the house.
Yeah.
Or they turn the house into like certain sets.
So they
can do what they want to do.
You were saying that the script was so specific that they would actually build out sets in the rooms to match what they needed for the scene, which is fascinating to me.
Part of other movies in this series, it looks...
How many movies? I didn't even know there were other movies in the series.
Well, I mean, series for the home invasion series.
Oh, yes.
So...
I was like, there's them too?
Yeah. Them also. Like Hush. It was a very... I'm pretty sure it was the same thing where like they couldn't find a house that was so specific to the script. And like, I guess like when you make a home invasion movie...
The house is a character.
Yeah, it's a character.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of like, hey, look, it says in the script that like it goes from this hall to that hall and they go around or whatever. So I would assume that, like it would be, practice. Yeah. And it would be like unless you're building sets, which we'll talk about in The Strangers, on the Strangers episode.
Yes.
That, unless you're building sets, it's like you're, but I guess, independent. Low budget, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
This movie is a quickie.
Yeah.
Love quickie movies. It only runs at 77 minutes.
Love that.
Which, did you feel when watching it? Was there like a moment where I was like, come on, let's go, let's move it for 77 minutes?
The only part that I found weird was the dinner scene. I think I mentioned that to you while we were watching it.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't tell, and I don't know if it was just the, what am I trying to say? The language barrier. But like, I couldn't tell if he was like joking or if he was actually mad at her for being like, your food's okay. Plus, I don't think I remember you saying that. Yeah. I don't think it added or detracted to like, I don't think it added to anything. You know what I mean? Like it didn't tell me more about their relationship. So it felt kind of like weird.
Yeah, it just like happened.
And I was like, why? Because they didn't resolve anything. They literally just like went to bed afterwards. That's like the only part of the movie where I was like, that was odd. But other than that, like I feel like the movie had excellent pacing and I think it really set the tone. I, understood the characters. I understood why they were there. Yeah, that was my only call out in that regard.
I don't know. As I said, like, I think, this is the first time like watching it front to back since 2006. And I think that it didn't obviously have the same effect, especially that ending. Because I even said to you, I was like, oh, I didn't realize that the reveal was so soon.
Yeah.
I remember it just being like, spoilers, just kids walking to like a bus. I guess, I don't know, maybe the transfer was that good where the DVD resolution was not that good.
Yeah.
Like is that a school bus or a transit bus? Which it was a transit bus that I could totally see.
Yeah.
But it still held up though. Like overall, like I would definitely, I don't know, like I don't want to say, I'll save it for the strangers. So then when we jump in to the strangers talk, then we can have a bit of a comparison for your viewers at home. But so yeah, as said, shot on a mini DV camera in 30 days. And the 35 millimeter situation is still kind of confusing, but I do understand how they were saying on the behind the scenes that kind of just sped up the production a bit. Because digital cameras, as I said, were not all what they are today until maybe 2009, 2010. Like when we shot my first movie.
Yeah.
Like we shot that in 2010 and like we used in the press that like, oh, shot on the red camera.
Oh.
And people were like,
ahead of
how
their
did
time.
this like small production get access?
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. Like, and I mean, obviously 2010 was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of crazy that like the state of like technology.
Yeah.
And
well,
like,
and there's only like a 4 or 5 year difference between when that movie was filmed and when yours was.
yeah.
You know?
It's just pretty wild how fast technology grows.
It moves super fast.
Oh yeah. The budget was $2.35 million as stated earlier, and it grossed over $2.73 million.
Interesting. I didn't even know. Was this released here or was it only released in France?
I think it was only released in France theatrically.
Yeah. Because I'm surprised I didn't hear about this.
That's like, I think so. Dark Sky put out the DVD, so they bought the American rights for it, and it just went straight to DVD here. I think if it were to come out in 2024, like there's so many like cinemas, where like Alamo, I think would definitely show it, or
totally.
So it's like a like the Lemleys or whatever the heck would show it, type of thing. But
when did High Tension come out? Do you know?
That was around this. No, actually, I think it was a little sooner. It was like 2003, maybe.
Because
that was in theaters.
That was in theaters here.
But they spent, when I was watching the bonus features on the High Tension DVD, they were talking about that the US studio, I forget who picked it up, they put a lot of money into.
Gotcha.
Like, this needs to be seen on a big screen.
Yeah.
And I don't think this movie needs to be seen on a big screen, especially being shot on mini DV camera. Like, how are you going to deliver that to theaters?
Totally. Because I remember when High Tension came out, I saw it in theaters, and I remember thinking, like, I want more French horror. I want to see more. You know what I mean? Like international horror movies. And so I would look for them. And so that's why I think too that I'm surprised that this one totally flew under my radar.
I don't know if there was like a wave of like French horror or whatever that would come and go around here.
Yeah. I don't think so either, but there was then like the J horror and K horror.
So, all right. So there was that, but then like obviously Hollywood bought that shit and then would do the remake. So that brings us to what these directors wound up going on to make after them was the remake of The Eye, starring Jessica Alba.
What? That's so funny.
Back when the Korean or Japanese remakes were all the craze.
Wait, okay.
What? Is that your favorite movie?
Of all time.
Is it?
To be honest.
I can't tell from being sarcastic.
No. A haunted eyeball. That's hilarious to me.
Well, I mean, so...
And I it's unfair of me to say that because I think the last time I saw The Eye was legitimately in theater.
Yeah.
But I remember being like, okay. So it's interesting that that's where they went after doing this movie.
So after The Eye, they went on to...
They parted ways.
And to agree to it, the directors parted ways to a degree and did their own thing.
Okay.
Kind of curious if they had a bad Hollywood experience because they haven't made a Hollywood movie since.
Because I'm curious to see it again. knowing that this is where those directors came from. And then I'm curious after watching it to like see how / if Hollywood producers just totally fucked with it.
They didn't write it. They just directed it.
Mm-hmm.
Which fair.
Yeah.
Although I did just accidentally click, and apparently Jessica Alba was nominated for a Razzie for Worst Actress.
I mean,
I don't remember anything. I couldn't tell you anything about it. I don't remember.
That's what I'm saying. I remember not being impressed by it, but I can't speak to it now because I haven't seen it in so long.
I recently watched David Moreau's film King.
Uh-huh.
And it's about, I think I told you about it. It's about like a girl or a boy, they find a like baby cub. No, not a cub. Lion.
A lion cub. Yeah.
And then like kind of like just adopts it pretty much.
Would.
It's like
sounds like real life to me.
It wasn't a bad movie. Actually the CG in it for like the lion was like phenomenal. Like, I was like, wow, this like looks really good.
That came out within the past couple years, right? Wasn't that a recent
I think
movie?
It was like 2022 or
yeah. I remember hearing about it.
It was like a kid's movie. It was interesting.
Yeah. I think it's on, is it on Disney Plus?
Oh, I have no clue.
I feel like I saw something about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could just be making it up though.
I don't even know how like I stumbled upon that. Maybe when Umbrella Entertainment first announced that they were releasing this on Blu-ray, I was just like, what are these directors up to?
Yeah, that sounds like something you would do.
And but he does have a new thriller coming out.
Oh.
Called Mad. Mads? I don't know. It's just MAD with a capital S.
Okay.
Question mark.
We'll see.
Upon researching this film, apparently Them is getting a remake. I don't know.
Do we need it?
I mean, we're already getting a Strangers redo.
We're getting
in 3 parts.
3-part Strangers redo.
We'll talk about that more on the Strangers podcast.
Can we also talk about, I don't want to interrupt your train of thought, but can we also talk about, so I had mentioned that home invasion movies are so scary because like that's something that's very real. Mm-hmm. This movie was based off of a true story.
Totally. It says based on true story. I don't know how true that is, but apparently while doing research for this, that the true story in which the film was based upon involved an Austrian couple that was murdered by 3 teenagers in their vacation home in Romania.
That's crazy.
So I guess maybe they
got the idea and then ran with it.
Totally.
I love that. I mean, I don't love the true thing that happened, but
it's fucked up, man.
It is.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm the worst. But I like that they tweaked it and they made it even creepier. You know?
I mean, stating just the top of this episode, it's like I personally think home invasions are just Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Scary.
I grew up down the street from. There was a house that apparently, it wasn't like a home invasion. It was kind of like, I don't know, it's very like blurred on what exactly happened, but it was rumored that it was a home invasion and that like the family was held captive. And like all these cop cars and shit. It was pretty crazy.
Sheesh.
It was wild.
There's nothing scarier than people coming into your safe place.
Yeah. I mean, even like did you ever have a car broken into?
No, thank God.
I've had a car broken into and it just your privacy just
feels icky.
What's the word I want to use?
I know what you're trying to say, but I can't think of it either.
It's just
invaded.
Invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
But no, there's actually like it's a one word that I'm thinking of, but I don't know. Jay's not great with words. We've learned this now. So yeah, to have that be in your house, fuck that.
No.
Fuck that.
I'm not okay with it.
Same. According to director David Moreau.
Yeah,
fuck, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, David. Star Olivia Bonamy suffered from claustrophobia, and much of her performance as she crawled through the narrow tunnels was the result of her genuine fear of the tight spaces.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, on the bonus features, you can actually see like she stresses it a lot. Like she's just like, nope, not doing that unless there's a wire on me. Nope. Like,
it's funny because I never got claustrophobic watching this movie, but like The Descent is a movie that every time I'm always like, like I can't handle this. I'm stressed out.
I didn't feel that way watching The Descent at home.
Oh,
But in
I still
theaters,
do.
yeah, I was just like...
And it's so crazy because you're sitting in a theater with people. There's space all around you. But for some reason, it's just like...
Yeah.
It feels like the smallest place.
Oh, yeah. Okay, before we dive into the one thing that will lead to the next episode and leave everybody on a cliffhanger for a week.
Yeah.
We're going to talk... So we didn't do pie this time around.
Correct.
Instead, we have done... I feel like I'm in like a planet spot. I can't grab them, Carly.
I'll do it. Okay. So usually we have pie while we're talking about movies. And we usually like to talk about, well, what kind of pie would go with this movie? What kind of sweet treat would go with this movie? Because, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen them, which I feel like a lot of people maybe haven't. Anyway,
Probably, I don't think
there
a
are
lot of
kids
people
involved,
have.
right?
Yeah.
So
We'll dance around what this is. I mean, I kind of said it.
you did. So Jay decided, because I didn't even think about this, to break out the Uncrustables.
Smucker's Uncrustables. When these first came out, my household where I grew up never had them. Friends always had them. And now they have reduced sugar ones.
Oh.
Which is great. I had to grab those. And it's on wheat bread. There's everything about her face is like, nope. Do you not like wheat bread?
I do, but I also love sugar.
Well,
No, I'm kidding. I've never had an Uncrustable.
which is funny. There was a funny debate during this because Carly was just like, "Yo, man, frozen peanut butter, that's weird."
It creeps me out.
That's weird. I don't like that.
I feel like peanut butter jelly sandwiches should be so fresh.
Well, so I did you a solid. I didn't put it in the freezer. I kept them in the fridge.
Thank you.
So for your first time, you can at least try it normally.
I
But
love
look,
this.
I'll tell you,
It's
people at
cute.
home, I'm not saying to go smoke the devil's lettuce or anything, but if you smoke the devil's lettuce and you have this and it's frozen peanut butter, it's a blast. Anyway.
It smells good. It's like a little pie.
Yeah, I mean this is true. It does look like a pie. We kind of did well here. Accidentally.
This is all you.
Oh man, these are great. Nah, I ain't gonna read the back of that. I mean, if you don't like this, then I'm kind of just questioning if you like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But
I love
frozen,
peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Is
These
it
are-
good frozen? Really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
it's not bad.
No.
I mean, I could destroy
The
this
jelly
thing.
just hit. My first bite was mostly peanut butter.
Although it does say thaw and eat, so maybe I've been doing it wrong.
I think part of the weirdness was I thought you were supposed to microwave them or something.
What? Microwave them?
No, they're not, because it says thaw and eat.
Although, true story. So it's very clear, and I dive more into it on the Strangers episode that we will be taping just after this. Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Movie magic.
We'll be wearing the same things.
Yeah, because I don't feel like it.
We usually try to change.
But this movie did give inspiration for the movie The Strangers that was made in 2008. And we will dive into that much more on the next episode of the Will There Be Pie 1, 2, the Home Invasion series on the couch.
On the couch.
Series.
Home invasion discussions on the couch.
Yes.
To be continued.
Yes.